Please, someone help! My baby's inside! The scream cut through the morning air like a blade. Judith Brennan dropped her worn duffel bag and sprinted toward the apartment building, engulfed in smoke. She'd been walking to the shelter when the explosion happened. A man collapsed on the pavement, his face streaked with ash and tears. "Third floor. My son. He's only 4 years old. I can't get back in." Judith's mind flashed back to 2 years ago. The training center, the instructor's voice, "Stay low, check doors with the back of your hand, never panic." She'd completed that firefighting course dreaming of a career. Then everything fell apart. But right now, none of that mattered. "Sir, listen to me," she said firmly, gripping his shoulders. "Which apartment?" 304, please." Judith pulled her scarf over her nose and mouth. The heat hit her like a wall as she entered, but her training kicked in. She stayed low, crawling through the smoke-filled corridor. At the 3rd floor, she tested the door handle with her knuckles. Hot, but not too dangerous. She used her jacket sleeve to turn it. Inside, visibility was nearly zero. "Hello? Can you hear me?" she called out, her voice steady despite her racing heart. A small whimper came from the corner. She crawled toward it, finding a little boy huddled behind an overturned chair, frozen in terror. "Hey there, brave one," Judith whispered, wrapping him in her jacket. "I'm getting you out of here. Hold on to me tight, okay?" His small arms locked around her neck. She moved carefully but quickly, remembering every drill, every simulation. When they emerged into daylight, firefighters rushed forward. The father sobbed as he took his son, pressing the child to his chest. Judith tried to slip away quietly, but the father caught her arm. "Wait, please wait," his voice broke. How did you do that? How did you save him?" Judith sat on the back of an ambulance, an oxygen mask in her hand. The father, who'd introduced himself as Daniel Westbrook, sat beside her, still trembling, his son wrapped in a blanket and checked by paramedics nearby. "I took a firefighting course 2 years ago. I wanted to become a firefighter, help people in emergencies. I learned the techniques, how to navigate smoke, assess danger, move efficiently." Daniel stared at her, his eyes red. "You risked your life using those skills for my son, a stranger's child. Anyone with training would have done the same. But you did it." He paused, studying her worn clothes, the exhaustion in her face. "Please, tell me how I can help you. Anything." She looked away. "I don't need charity." "It's not charity. It's gratitude. Please." She was silent for a long moment. Then softly, I want to finish what I started. I want to pursue this field properly, get certified, work in emergency response, use these skills to help people. That's all I've ever wanted." Daniel's expression shifted, determination replacing grief. "Then let me help you do that. Let me cover your training, your certification courses, whatever you need." "I can't accept." "You gave me back my son," his voice cracked. "My little boy is alive because you had skills and the courage to use them. The least I can do is help you develop those skills further. Please, let me do this." 3 months later, Judith stood outside the Regional Emergency Services Training Academy. Daniel had arranged everything: enrollment, tuition, even a small stipend for living expenses. She tried to refuse, but he'd been relentless in his quiet, determined way. Inside, the instructor outlined the intensive program. "This certification will qualify you for fire rescue, emergency medical response, and disaster management positions. It's demanding. Many don't finish." Judith met his eyes. "I'll finish." And she did. Every day she pushed herself harder. During simulations, she thought of that little boy's terrified face. During classroom sessions, she absorbed everything like someone making up for lost time. One evening, Daniel visited the academy with his son, Connor. His eyes lit up when he saw her. "Judith!" Connor ran over, wrapping his arms around her waist. "Hey there, buddy! Look at you getting so tall!" Daniel approached, smiling. "He wanted to see where you're training. How's it going?" They walked through the facility as Judith explained. It's everything I hoped for. I'm learning advanced rescue techniques, emergency medical response, fire behavior analysis. She paused. The day I saw Connor in danger, something clicked. I realized this skill I have, it's not just about me. It's about being there when someone's world is falling apart, being the person who knows what to do. Daniel's voice was thick with emotion. You're going to save so many lives, Judith. I know it. 18 months later, Judith graduated at the top of her class. Daniel and Connor sat in the front row as she received her certification. When they called her name and mentioned her act of bravery that had brought her to the program, the entire auditorium stood in applause. Afterwards, in the parking lot, Connor hugged her tightly. You're a real hero now, he said. Judith knelt down, her eyes glistening. You know what I learned, Connor? We're all capable of being heroes. We just need the chance to show it. Daniel extended his hand, then pulled her into a hug instead. Thank you, he whispered, for saving him, for letting me help you, for showing us what real courage looks like. Thank you for believing I was worth investing in, for seeing past the person on the street and recognizing someone with something to offer. 2 weeks later, Judith started her new job with the city's emergency response unit. On her first day, she wore her uniform with quiet pride. That evening, she met Daniel and Connor at their favorite diner, a tradition they'd maintained throughout her training. How was it? Daniel asked. Incredible, challenging, exactly where I meant to be. She smiled at Connor. And I thought about you today, about how you were the reason I'm here. Connor grinned. You were the reason I'm here, too. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. He raised his coffee cup. To second chances, to courage, to the people who run toward danger when everyone else runs away. Judith touched her cup to his. And to the people who see potential in strangers and choose kindness over indifference. As they sat together, 3 lives forever intertwined by one moment of bravery, Judith understood something profound. We all carry skills, dreams, and potential. Sometimes we just need someone to believe in us when we've stopped believing in ourselves. And sometimes the greatest act of courage isn't saving someone from a fire. It's accepting help when pride tells you to refuse it. That night, as Judith returned to her small apartment, the one Daniel had helped her secure, she looked at her certification hanging on the wall. Behind it was a photo. Her, Daniel, and Connor at her graduation, all of them smiling. She'd found her purpose, and in the process, she'd found family.